Hello, everyone, and welcome to Seven Figure Agency Intensive Iron Sharpens Iron. My name is Esteban Baez, and today I have with me
Luke Eggebraten, owner of Phaser Marketing. Esteban, thank you so much.
Thank you for being
having
here,
me on, man.
I'm so happy that you're here because I get to ask you all the juicy questions.
And I love it. And you always one-up me on the suit coat,
Nah,
so you're always
on.
looking good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So tell me your origin story. How did you get started in the agency space?
Yeah, I love it. So in 2019, I was working a full-time job. I just graduated from college, and I wanted to start my own business. And I thought a marketing agency would be so perfect. So like most people, digital marketing for small businesses. That's how I started. And I
Very
started,
broad, right?
Yeah, very broad.
For everybody.
First client was a real estate agency. Second client was a demolition company. And so very broad. And the company name was Phaser Marketing. And as I was working through that, my whole goal was I'm going to work full time until one day, hopefully, potentially, I can do my business full time. So I'm going to have a full time job until maybe one day I can pay myself out of this business.
You had a job,
Yep,
and you had the business.
exactly. But I didn't take a penny out of the business until I was able to go full time.
Now, quick question.
Yep.
Were you single, married at the time? What
So
was going on?
I was dating my now wife Olivia. And she loved it. It was more of the hustle, and so on nights, weekends, and my lunch breaks, I would work on this little side project called Phaser Marketing. And I'd start to get a couple clients. But what that really helped with is over 2 years, I didn't pay myself anything, but I learned how to invoice customers. I learned how to take care of customers. I learned how to do this digital marketing piece, but I also learned how to build a team because I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. And I, in my mind, didn't have time to learn it all. So I would just hire contractors and say, hey, if I pay you $1,200, would you be able to build this website that I'm going to charge $3,600 for? Absolutely, that sounds great. So I started building up this team, and then if you fast forward...
Of contractors.
Of contractors, yes. So for many years, I was only contractors. And it came to a point where it was 2021. My wife was applying for jobs. She had just graduated with her MBA, and she accepted a job offer in Arizona. And I'd never been to the state of Arizona, but I loved the idea of it. We're from northern Minnesota, and we loved the idea of going down south. So she accepted the job. At this time, I left my full-time job, which was in Nebraska, and I was going to move down to Arizona. The plan was to maybe find another job and keep running this side agency. We were doing about $8,000 per month in monthly recurring revenue.
So you no longer had a job?
No longer had a job, but my goal was, I'll go get a job probably. And I'll never forget it. We're at a bar just kind of celebrating the move and kind of a going away party. And one of Olivia's friends said, she was asking me what I'm going to do next. And she's like, well, why don't you just go full time with Phaser? And I was looking for an excuse. I was like, well, because I was like, shoot, maybe I should just give it a whack. You know, I've been doing it for 2 years. We had some money coming in. I had about probably $6,000 in the business bank account. I said, you know what, let's do it. So we moved down to Arizona, and I went full time. It was August 2021, and I paid myself my first paycheck of $500, and every 2 weeks I paid myself $500. And that was big because my wife just got a new job, so she got a raise, and I left my job, and so I fell down. And so why I bring that up is because if my wife wouldn't have supported me through all of that, we wouldn't be sitting here today because I would have to continue going out, making a paycheck, continue going out, getting a job, which is fine. But Olivia said, I'm here for you. Absolutely, go get it done. I believe in you. And man, as an entrepreneur, if you hear that, especially from your significant other, it fuels you up.
Well, you melt, and then you get charged up, right?
Absolutely. And then, so that is in August 2021. And I'm just like, I know I can make this work. And the belief and the confidence, and my wife believes in me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna look into this more. I need to continue educating myself. On LinkedIn, I followed a guy named Tony Ricketts.
Oh, Tony.
And Tony Ricketts, and I messaged him on LinkedIn. I was like, dude, love the business, love what you're doing. Any advice? I just went full time in August, would be great. He said, Luke, read this book. It's called The 7-Figure Agency Roadmap by Josh Nelson. If you read it and you want to come to we do a live intensive 3 times a year, let me know. You can be my guest. If not, no problem. It's a great book.
Right.
It's like, I love it. And so I got the book, read it. The great thing about Josh's book, everything's in there. It is a roadmap from A to Z. And I'm like, he doesn't hold back.
Right.
And I messaged Tony right away. I said, I'm in. Let me know what I got to do. If I got to pay, whatever. He said, you can come for free as my guest. You pay for your flight and your hotel, and you're going to love it. And that was November intensive, 2021. And today, as we sit here, this is my 10th intensive in a row. 10.
Wow.
And
you haven't missed one?
So,
I'm like,
funny story.
Yeah.
So I missed, there's 2 parts to this story.
Okay.
So the only one I missed
Yeah.
was because I got a speaking gig at the biggest construction trade show in North America.
Okay.
130,000 people go to this trade show in Las Vegas.
Which is your niche.
Which is my niche.
Yeah.
And the excavation space.
Right.
And I got that speaking gig. I would attest everything to 7-Figure Agency. So it was almost like that hat tip, that salute to like, wow, the only reason I'm missing my favorite event is because of this opportunity that this group helped me get to.
Right.
And if you do the quick math, you're like, well, there's an extra intensive in there because I did come to Miami on accident one time. So quick story, in July of that year, I was so excited. I was fired up, excited to see all my friends, get back with everybody.
Yeah.
And I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Miami's kind of a long flight, and I like to fly budget airlines.
Okay.
So usually I fly like up to Detroit and then down to Miami, or I'll fly to Vegas and then Miami, middle row seat.
Okay.
I'd sit in the lavatory if it saved me $80, but and so I'm all fired up for this intensive.
Right.
And I do this whole round trip. It's a 30-hour with layovers, flights, and everything.
Okay.
And I get to Miami. I get off the plane, and I'll never forget it. I text Forrest, one of my good friends in the group. I said, "When do you land?" And remember, this is Monday at like noon.
Right.
I'm like, "Hey man, when do you get in?" And he's like, "Oh, I get in Monday at like 11 a.m." I was like, "That's kind of a weird way to say it. Like it's already past 11."
Right.
And I was like, it kind of dawned on me, and I'm sweating a little bit because it's Miami. And I was like, oh, shoot. And I called a couple other people, and they're like, dude, the intensive is not for another 2 weeks. So I flew all the way across the country to come to the intensive on the wrong weekend.
You were on the wrong date.
And so then I basically walked back to the airport, grabbed an ice cream cone from Dairy Queen, grabbed the next flight out, and flew all the way to Vegas and then back home that same day. And then 2 weeks later, came back. So that's why I say it's been 10, because I came to Miami. The idea was there, the thought was there.
Yeah, so that's your 10th one.
That's the 10th one. So because I still learned a lesson.
Right.
And that's a triple check the dates.
Right.
And but yeah, man, it's been an absolute blessing. I just love this group, the excitement, getting to meet all of you guys, but then not just meet you guys, but continue these relationships as well. And that's been one of the biggest drivers.
That's powerful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Man, it's kind of a wild journey, but that's why I always triple check now the dates.
Cool. Triple check.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Where were you back then? You were at 8K, you said.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So where are you today? Fast forward 3 years, right?
Yep. Yeah. So 3 years, we just crossed about 105K in monthly recurring revenue.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude, let's go. I mean, it's such a blessing. We have 0 project work.
Okay.
We have 67 excavation clients.
Wow.
We don't do anything outside of our niche.
Okay.
And because that's what we learned here.
Yeah.
Don't do project work, niche down.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
Just follow the recipe.
Follow the recipe.
That's
and
it.
the way I look at this wonderful business and this opportunity is I'm just a steward of God's resources, of this business. And I get to manage this. And I'm going to do the best I can to do that and lead our team and lead these clients and learn and grow. But at the end of the day, it's not mine. And so just really keeping that in mind and making that impact is something I'm very passionate about.
It sounds like you really understand your role
Yeah,
as in what you're doing here.
absolutely. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Good. So let me ask you two more questions.
Let's do it.
All right. If someone is on the fence,
Yeah.
and they're thinking about this community, and they're
Yeah.
watching this video,
Yeah.
what would you say to them?
Yeah. To me, that's easy. First thing,
Mm-hmm.
book a call with me. You can find me on all platforms. I manage all my social media.
Okay.
Luke Eggebraten or Phaser Marketing.
Yeah.
Shoot me a DM. I'll message you right back. Would love to meet with any agency owner.
Yeah.
That is what I love to do most. Even I don't even really enjoy the marketing stuff. I enjoy like helping others, answering questions, any of that kind of stuff, because I know how much it's impacted my life and everyone else in this room.
Right.
So first things first, shoot me a message. I would love to answer any questions. Book a call. Second thing, and what I'm going to tell them on the call is to buy Josh's book, The 7-Figure Agency Roadmap.
Right.
Those two things,
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer for them, for me, for anyone. But then the third step would be, if you are serious and if you do want to come check it out, let me know, because as you guys do, you set it up so well where I can invite somebody as a guest,
Right.
my guest. They can come on Monday.
Right.
I believe it's on ramp.
Yep.
And they get to learn the ins and outs of it, and they get to make a decision of like, I can come for free,
Yeah.
and if I want to stay the whole time, then I'll commit.
That's correct.
And
We call it Roadmap Live.
Roadmap Live.
Yes.
And it is the absolute best thing you can do, because then you're taking a chance on yourself,
Right.
and you're at least opening the book, and there's nothing holding you back, because it's a flight and maybe a one-night hotel room stay, because if you want to leave, you can.
Yeah.
But what you will see will change your life. I mean, you'll get here and you'll start to meet a couple people, you'll shake some hands, you'll see like something special is going on here. And there's a reason there's 300 plus agency owners in one place, digital marketing agency owners.
That's right.
That are all niched down.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, man, I got to check out Tuesday, Wednesday. Like,
That's right.
but let's do it. Let's commit. 90-day commitment, or 6-month commitment. Let's do it. Give myself a chance.
Yeah.
And then my biggest piece of advice to anyone looking to jump into the group potentially, even if there's hundreds and hundreds of resources online, trainings, the least you can do is just show up in person in Miami each intensive, and you will get, your cup will be filled up. You'll get more than you can even know what to do with in relationships and mentorships and in business growth. And I mean, it'll change your life.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
We usually don't let members join until they hit the $10,000 a month MRR. So I think you snuck in there.
I did. Well, I did lie on my application, which I don't.
It's a white lie.
I don't condone that. But if you're close enough, like, just bump it up a little bit. Like they're not going to look at your QuickBooks. So if you're at 8,500 monthly recurring revenue, bump it up to 10K, and come with the right mindset. Come ready to go. Come ready to learn, and build those relationships. But man, if that's what's slowing you down, it's just a breath of fresh air coming to these events, and you get home and your spouse or your family is just gonna be like, man, what was in the water out there? And is this a cult or what's going on? But
that's funny.
It's absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Now, I know I told you I had two questions, right?
Yeah.
So the second question I have is, when you're not working, what do you do with your free time?
Yeah.
And do you have any free time?
Yes.
Right? Because a lot of people say, oh, well, I got to implement and execute all these things, right? So.
Yeah, I love that question. So I think a big misconception, at least with what people have with my life, is that I'm so busy and I'm always working. And it's just not true. Like, I have prioritized time with my wife, traveling. I love playing pickleball, golf.
Really?
I love working out. I love just like exploring the world. And work isn't everything for me, but that is one of my hobbies, I will say, is working and is running businesses. And I think it's so fun. But what I like to do is, so my wife and I, Olivia, we love budgeting. So even though, like, if we have a successful business, or if she's doing well or gets a raise, we're still very mindful of our money. So I wouldn't say frugal, but very mindful. So what we have is a travel fund, and we say, okay, this is from the business. We take a distribution every quarter, and that goes into a travel fund, and that's what we get to go do, because that's one of our favorite things.
Traveling.
And so And then also we have these little side hustles of we love to watch dogs through the Rover app. And
Uh-huh.
so the money we make from watching those dogs funnels right into the travel fund. And so the more like little side hustles we do,
Yeah.
the more we get to go do fun things.
Wow.
And it's just, I think just that you have to earn it first.
Yeah.
I love, because with where we're at in business, yeah, I could go buy a new truck, I could go buy a new house or whatever, but there's so much more we want to do, setting up our eventual kids, our future kids, but also just build a business and build careers for our employees, and wanting to make sure that I see us as having one shot at this, at building Phaser Marketing, and I want to lead, I want to be outrageously generous with our money, and I think that just goes back to being a manager, of a steward of the business, and so making sure that it's in good hands, it's healthy, and that we're all flourishing from it.
Powerful.
Heck
Luke,
yeah.
thank you so much.
Yes,
man.
absolutely.
That was very powerful. I really enjoyed listening to your story.
Man, thank you so much. This has been a blast. I appreciate it. Your jackets always inspire me, and I need to go shop. So, awesome.
You,
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.